This is a flexible plastic mug and I am drinking hot liquid from it. I'm in a weird headspace for the start of this video. Hey friends, welcome back to another video. It is late at night when I'm filming this. Let's try that again. It is late at night when I am filming this. You can probably tell by the title of this video, but I got a heatless hair curling set. And this will not be the first time that I am trying something like this. I actually have been doing it with my fluffy robe tie. I guess mine is still up actually. I can show you what she looks like. I have actually gotten this robe tie down to a science and I can make my super thick hair take heatless curls overnight with this, but we're gonna see how it does with this. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna get to this in a second, but I wanna show you guys how I've been styling my hair with my robe tie, at least the way that it's been super successful for me, because I've already noticed just looking at this packaging that it actually says to do it slightly differently, like the wrapping technique is different than the way that I've been doing it with this. And I have a feeling that that's gonna make a big difference in the way that it turns out. So usually I put it on my head, make sure that the ends are kind of even. I pull them and make sure that they're even down below. You can clip it here, and I think this thing that I ordered comes with a clip. I brush my hair out beforehand, and usually I brush each like strip before I actually wrap it. I basically take the first piece that's by my face, the one that's kind of framing my face, and wrap it around once. And then I take another strand about equal size, brush it out, and then instead of wrapping that way away from my face again, I take it around and I wrap it forward. And then what I've been doing is just doing the same thing and picking up hair along the way. So then I add a little bit of hair to the first strand, continue to wrap away from the face, do one full rotation of that around the head, and then I take a little more hair and wrap, and then they kind of crisscross until you actually get the whole half of the head, and then you do this side of the head. I have found that to be really pretty in the morning when I wake up. If I put a little bit of hairspray in it, even my thick hair holds that for a day or two. I mean, it like falls a little bit, but it still looks nice. If you want something dewy and bouncy and fresh for summer like I do, then this is the kind of makeup look that you might want to go for. And what I like about that styling technique so much is that it does get two different curl patterns going on the head so that it really just looks like kind of loose tousled waves. And that method has been super comfortable to sleep in. When my hair is wrapped around this is a super soft robe tie. But the difference here, and let me show you, I haven't actually gotten this thing out yet either. This is what the package looks like. So it's silk, which is supposed to be nice on your hair, right? People say like sleep on a silk pillow if you don't want to mess up your hair. And the brand is Ailevant. Yeah, it just says heatless hair curler. Simply set, sleep, and go. So let's get this bad boy out of here. So this is soft on the inside too. It's pretty squishy. I do feel like I'm naturally gonna get a little bit bigger of a curl with the circumference of this versus the robe tie, which kind of squishes in when I wrap hair around it. But it feels nice and silky. I'm just a little worried that it's not gonna be long enough for my hair to wrap around. Like I'm gonna get to the end and I'm not gonna be done wrapping. But this does look like a very luxurious experience. Like it has these nice silk scrunchies for the end of your hair too when you get to the bottom of the robe. The clip is to like be able to clip it so it doesn't move on your head, I guess, as you're wrapping. But the main difference here is that it says you need to wrap all of the hair outward and around, away from the face. Don't change the wave pattern. Don't weave it really at all. It just all wraps out. But the issue with wrapping it all in one direction with thick hair is that it doesn't separate out the strands enough. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the way that I was weaving it before, each strand still had some like room and they weren't all piled on top of each other. And now I'm thinking like with this method especially, I have so much thick hair, and especially fitting it all on this like silk tie thing before hitting the bottom, I'm just going to have to wrap on top of my own hair a ton, and it's gonna be bunched up and not really spaced out is my fear. I'm gonna try my best, but if that's the case, I'm worried the curl's not gonna take well. But we're gonna try. I am going to brush out my hair real fast and then also just make sure that I brush a little bit of product through. This is the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In Light. This is what it looks like. I'm not necessarily bound to this product, but I have liked it since I bought it. This is the first bottle I've ever had, and I genuinely did come on camera with like really tangly hair that I had not brushed out today, so this might be good to let you guys kind of see how this might transform that mess. Might being the key word. Okay, everything is brushed out. Things are looking nice and silky. I can't expect you to take hair care recommendations from me if I don't show off how shiny my hair is. Even for color treated hair, my ends look pretty good too. They're pretty healthy and silky most of the time, and it was pretty recent that I dyed it. It's been a few weeks. Okay, without further ado, we are going to get into this. I think I'm just gonna do like a little sped through montage here so you guys can kind of see how the process goes for me, and then we'll come back and talk about how it went before we actually cut to the clip of me tomorrow morning and seeing how it turns out.
Don't make me dance to the tune that you're humming. No, my body don't move like that. Don't make me pretend I don't see your shortcomings. You'll be running when I raise the black flag. Get out your bomb and fly away.
Okay, I'm already having some thoughts on this. Like, it does say on the package for this one specifically to use after washing your hair. It doesn't say anything like you need to dry it, so I don't know if it means it needs to be wet when you're doing it. And maybe that would make a little more sense, because the thing I'm really noticing here is that I actually feel like my hair is pretty loose on this, even though I feel like I wrapped it hard. It was pretty tight until I did this. Like, I guess I can slide like the thing down, but I think it's just gonna be loose. Yeah, I guess that's a little tighter. One other thing I want to mention is that I did divide it a little bit, like I showed you I did with my robe tie. Instead of just taking a whole half of my thick hair and just pulling it around this tie, I figured it might make sense to still kind of do the sectioning thing where you wrap a tiny bit and then take another piece and wrap it in. I did 4 on each side, so I still divided them into pretty big groups. I feel like this is gonna come off my head when I'm sleeping. Maybe I do need the clip when I'm sleeping. This already fell out. Okay, I really want to like this. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this side out, and then I wonder if I can wrap this tighter and just try a little harder this time now that I've done it once and made my mistakes. Okay, I guess hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, before I put a tie on this, I just want to show you how tight this is. I have curled it around this, and I'm a little afraid that the fact that this thing is made out of silk is just gonna make it slip again, but we'll see. Also gonna try to get it 3 times around with the scrunchy thing. Ooh, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, it's happening. See, I feel like that might hold a little better. Well, now I feel like I should do this to the other side. I won't make you watch this, but I'm gonna do the other side a little tighter and then be right back. Okay, I did it. It certainly looks tighter, and this is what I'm gonna sleep in, and we'll just see how it goes. I don't think if it's this tight, I have to maybe have the clip in here. I might sleep with the clip actually. I just want to give it its like best shot. And the last step here says after 3 to 6 hours or the next morning, remove the curler and you will get beautiful and natural curls. I feel like Bo Peep. I think I'm gonna hit the hay and see you tomorrow morning, and we can talk about how this lovely masterpiece worked out overnight. Good night. All right, good morning guys. It is the next morning and I do have a real mug. I just made myself some coffee. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so I will say that when I woke up this morning, I thought that this was going to be way more of a mess than it is. Like, looking at it, it looks like it stayed in place pretty well. It obviously like loosened up a bit, but I did not clip it last night and it was like falling off my head during part of the night. It seems like it held pretty well. It was very comfortable to sleep on. It obviously like moves enough that I could make sure it wasn't right by my head, but I also laid on it during the night and it wasn't too uncomfortable. Like, it honestly felt fine. But now let's get to the fun part of revealing how this is looking. Oh, I forgot that I did this 3 times over. This is gonna be hard to get out. There we go. Do you guys think it's gonna work? I don't know. When I did the robe tie thing for the first time, the next morning I was like, oh please, like this is not gonna work. On my thick hair, nothing works. I'm really doubtful about this just because it looks like it loosened throughout the night. Oh my god. I think I already stand corrected. But this lower part I did wrap around several times, and as it loosened, it looks like it just gave it one big curl. Like, this is not curled. But if the rest of it turns out okay, then maybe I could like fix that. Guys, it totally curled. Okay, wow, these are very different curls. Oh, hold on, I gotta get the other side out before I actually talk about this. Okay, I feel like I gotta zoom you out a little bit. Huh. It did make the hair look a little more like silky smooth. Let's look at it from the back. Wow, it kind of just looks like a blowout maybe? It got a little bit wavy. It looks nice, and I think that's because it's silk, right? So it didn't like tousle my hair in some weird way, which I will say, even though my robe tie is soft, it does come out a tiny bit frizzy, and I usually have to manage that. This is already looking really nice. What I am noticing is that here you can see there's like maybe 1 or 2 bends in the hair, whereas on this side there are what, maybe 3? I think, you know, the sectioning thing that I did yesterday where I still kind of did it like a French braid and I took sections in as I was wrapping? I think that if I were to do this again, I would actually focus on getting smaller sections. I did like 4 on each side. I think I would wrap this and then get a tinier section and wrap it and then get a tinier section and do, I don't know, like 8 to 10 on each side. And I think that would maybe help with the bend a little bit. But overall, this does look okay. I'm thinking if it falls even a little bit throughout the day, I think it's just gonna look kind of funny. And like over here doesn't look great. And back here is just like, what is this? So I'm thinking that the next time I try this, and maybe I can do an updated video for you guys, I will do the weaving thing that I've been doing with my robe tie, because now we've proven that you don't have to have wet hair for it to work. I probably will try wet hair with this at some point too, but I don't think that's the issue. I think when you're sleeping overnight with something like this, the heat from your head, if you have it in enough hours, which I kept it in like 10 hours, it will do something. I'm just thinking I need to try like a couple different techniques, and maybe the one that they mention on here is not, well, I don't want to say that it's not effective, because I think if people had less thick hair, like if you had relatively like medium to thin hair, I totally see this working better. Yeah, I think those are all my final thoughts on it. I'm just gonna have to experiment with it a little more, which to be fair, I had to do with the robe tie as well. But I don't regret purchasing this yet because one, the actual aesthetic of it is super cute. When I was FaceTiming my boyfriend last night, he was like, oh my gosh, what is that in your hair? And I was like, I feel like a queen. Like I feel like anything silk, and I love this color. They have a couple different colors, I think. It just makes me feel like I'm doing a luxurious nighttime routine. But let me tell you guys what the actual price of this is too. It was not expensive. I think it was maybe under $10, might have been 12. Okay, it was $13.99. It was a little higher than I thought. I think I actually maybe got it on a discount, like near Prime Day or something. But it comes in blue, pink, and like rose gold. And I will link it down below in case you guys want to check it out. I think that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've tried this, let me know what you think of it. There are a ton of different versions out there too. So if you don't like anything about this one, maybe go check on Amazon and see what you can find. But for now, I have to go wash my face because I had no idea how I was supposed to wash my face with that in my hair without like getting it all wet. So I'm gonna go actually start my day. Thanks for putting up with Zero Makeup Sam. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!